If you are looking for a headphone that works well in both gaming and work environments, the UX3000 from Final Audio is an entry-level headphone from a high-end audiophile company based in Japan, who came out with their first noise-canceling headphones. So how did they fare? The UX3000 has a rounded design with a texture finish called Shibo. It is a matte finish with specks of gloss, almost as if the matte plastic was sprayed with water. It is however smooth to the touch, and the plastics used are very light and almost cheap feeling, until I tried to crush it a bit. It is very much solid. The only point of concern are the yokes, which don't fit flush with the ear cups. On the ear cups, the UX3000 has a USB-C port and an auxiliary port. Buttons include a combination pair, play, pause, and power button, a 2-button volume control, and ANC button. One odd feature the UX3000 has is that even with the Bluetooth section off, the ANC can be left on. How does the ANC sound though? It works well at reducing the low frequency static noise, and for high-pitched screeching noises, it dulls the feeling, but it is still noticeable. I find there is a slight pressure with the ANC enabled. Unfortunately, there is no setting to change the level of the ANC, which gets us to the next part. There is no app. The box, however, does state something about My Final in the App Store, but is actually only for warranty purposes. The UX3000 can connect to 2 devices simultaneously and switches to the most recently active device. But how do the UX3000 stack up sound-wise? The bass is well controlled with some impact and pressure and is actually a little bit forward. The mids, on the other hand, are a little understated, but clear although lacking some detail or texture. The treble doesn't give off any sibilance while adding some nice excitement and brightness. The overall signature lends to being neutral feeling, however, the mids feel 2 steps back to say that they are truly neutral. This is mostly because the bass and treble pull more attention in comparison to the mids, making the vocals seem a little soft. While the soundstage is large for a closed back pair of headphones, there isn't a lot of separation between instruments. Imaging or directionality is not too bad at what feels like 20-degree increments. It, however, doesn't give a feeling of sound being directly above or under you. Overall, the sound feels neutral while having a very slight V-shaped sound. This makes it suited for almost any genre of music, other than pop, punk, rock, or metal with vocals, as the vocals tend to get lost due to a low level of separation. For a general watching experience, there is a smaller soundstage, but is larger than cheaper counterparts. This also helps in a workspace environment, as the sound doesn't feel too much in your head. For work such as editing, it works just fine as there is support for aptX low latency, and the sound isn't too colored to have to make any major adjustments. In gaming, on the other hand, it doesn't fare too well for competitive games due to the low level of separation when connected through Bluetooth. This becomes less of an issue when plugged in directly via the aux cable, as while the general sound is the same, it gets a slight boost to the mids and increases the separation noticeably. The wired connection improvements can also help in editing. However, there is another issue with the Bluetooth connection, but that depends on if it can annoy you or not. There is some static as long as the UX3000s are on, but is not noticeable as long as the audio is playing. I wasn't able to find anyone with the same issue, which means mine could have a defect. The UX3000 also has a high noise floor with an obvious but ignorable white noise on a very quiet track. But that aside, while the UX3000 lacks an app for customizability, it does add to the simplicity of use, and a consistent experience from device to device, wired or wireless, making the UX3000 from Final a decent entry-level all-around headphone for work and for gaming. And it does come in cheaper than something like the XM4 from Sony. But if you want to know why Bluetooth can be a nightmare, check out this video or here for any other audio gear. Do you have any other suggestions for alternatives to the XM4 from Sony? Let me know in the comments below. Hit the like button if you liked the video, and subscribe for more reviews of desktop gear for both work and gaming.